Have you ever felt like shouting at the top of your lungs just to be heard? Like no one, not even the people who are supposed to love you the most, can see how much you're hurting? For Lily, this wasn't just a feeling. It was her life. And her father, David, was at the center of it all. But what if the love she thought was missing had been there all along, just buried under years of silence and pain? Sometimes the things left unsaid hurt the most. And for this father and daughter, the distance between them would take more than words to heal. Lily slammed the front door behind her, her backpack slung over one shoulder as she stormed out. Her father, David, called after her, standing in the doorway with his phone still pressed to his ear. "Lily, wait," he said. But his words fell flat. She didn't stop. It wasn't the first time. Ever since her mother's passing, Lily felt like she'd lost both parents. David, once warm and attentive, had become a shadow of the father she knew. He was always there physically, but never really present. Each time she needed him, he was buried in work, attending endless calls or drowning in paperwork. And when he wasn't working, he was retreating into silence, as if grief had stolen his voice. To Lily, it felt like she didn't matter anymore. Every missed recital, every silent dinner, every distracted response added to the growing distance between them. She wanted to scream, to shake him, to make him see her. But she didn't know how. At school, things weren't much better. Lily kept her head down, scrolling through photos of her mom during lunch breaks, feeling more alone than ever. Her classmates laughed and shared stories about their families, but Lily had nothing to say. What was there to share when her family felt like it had shattered into pieces? One day, her teacher handed out an assignment that made Lily's stomach sink. Family History Project, the bold letters read. The task was to interview a family member and write about a moment that had shaped their life. Her classmates groaned, but Lily just stared at the paper, her mind blank. How was she supposed to do this when the one person she could ask barely talked to her anymore? That evening, Lily stood outside David's office, the assignment clutched in her hand. She hesitated before knocking softly. "Dad?" she called, peeking inside. David was on another call, gesturing for her to wait. "I need to ask you something for school," she said, her voice small. He waved her off without even looking up. "In a minute, Lily," he muttered. But that minute never came, and as Lily retreated to her room, she felt her anger boil over. Why did she even bother? It was clear he didn't care. The next day, while looking for something in the attic, Lily stumbled across an old wooden chest labeled Memories. Dust covered the lid, and she hesitated before opening it. Inside, she found a treasure trove of photos, letters, and keepsakes from a life that felt so far away. Her fingers traced over a photograph of her parents, young and carefree, holding her as a baby. They were smiling, so full of joy. She barely recognized the man her father used to be. As she dug deeper, she found a letter addressed to her. Her name, written in her father's neat handwriting, made her pause. She unfolded it carefully, her hands trembling. "Lily," the letter began. "I know I don't say it enough, but everything I do is for you. Losing your mom broke me in ways I can't explain. I've made mistakes, but please know that every late night, every missed moment, was because I wanted to give you the life you deserve. I hope one day you can forgive me." David sighed, setting aside his papers. "Because I thought I had to be strong for you, Lily. I didn't want you to see how much I was struggling. I didn't want you to worry about me." The walls between them began to crumble. For the first time in years, Lily saw her father not as the distant figure she resented, but as a man who was trying his best in the only way he knew how. And for the first time, David saw the pain his silence had caused his daughter. The next day, David surprised Lily by taking a day off work. It was awkward at first. They weren't used to spending time together. But as the day went on, the tension began to ease. They cooked breakfast together, laughing when the pancakes burned. They went for a walk, talking about her mom and the memories they shared. Finally, they visited her grave, laying flowers and sitting quietly together. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. And for the first time, Lily began to notice the small ways her dad showed his love, ways she'd overlooked before. Like the sticky note he left on her mirror that read, "Proud of you. Love, Dad." Or how he clapped louder than anyone else at her recital a week later, beaming with pride. Sometimes, love isn't loud or obvious. It's in the sacrifices, the late nights, and the little gestures we take for granted. Lily realized that her dad's love had been there all along. She just hadn't seen it. One evening, as they flipped through an old photo album together, laughing at the memories, Lily leaned against her dad's shoulder. "I miss her too, Dad," she said softly. David wrapped an arm around her and nodded. "Me too, sweetheart. But we still have each other." And for the first time in years, Lily didn't feel invisible. She felt seen. She felt loved. Because sometimes, all it takes is one moment of honesty to bring a family back together. Family life isn't always perfect. Sometimes, the most important words of love are left unsaid, and silent actions hold more meaning than we realize. Through the story of Lily and David, we've learned that love doesn't have to be loud or flashy. It can be found in sacrifices, quiet efforts, and the desire to protect those we care about, even if we don't always know how to show it. If you feel distant from someone you love, don't hesitate to reach out. Start the conversation. Sometimes, a single moment of honesty can heal what feels broken beyond repair. Because love, even when hidden, is always worth finding. If this story touched your heart or made you reflect on your own family, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to read them. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another heartfelt story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.